Hi, grab a drink or whatever, because I'm about to tell you the wildest K-drama adjacent story you've probably never heard of. You don't need to know anything about Korean shows going in, I promise you'll understand. Probably. February 13, 2026. TVN drops their Big Vision 2026 trailer. 10 years of fan petitions, endless forum threads, When Is Signal 2 coming comments under every single clip, and the trailer just skips over it. No teaser, no logo, no nothing. A multi-billion-won production. Fully shot, starring Kim Hae-soo and Lee Jae-hoon, was there one day and gone the next. Like someone hit delete on the whole thing. Why? Because one actor, Cho Jin-woong, had a secret from 1994 that Dispatch decided the world needed to see in December 2025. And in less than 48 hours the man who played Korea's most beloved detective for 2 decades said I'm done and walked away forever. Today I'm telling you the whole thing from scratch. How a regular guy from Busan became the ultimate good guy symbol, how he fell in one weekend, and why an entire multi-million-dollar show is currently sitting in a vault because of it. Ready? Here we go. So Cho Jin-woong wasn't born famous. His real name is Cho Won-jun and he came into the world in 1976 in Busan, the big salty port city down south. Not Seoul, not some entertainment family, just a normal kid who liked movies and theater. He did his military service like every Korean guy, then instead of chasing auditions he started doing local plays. Small stages, tiny audiences, probably getting paid in ramen half the time. He didn't get his first real screen credit until 2004, age 28, in a movie called Once Upon a Time in High School. He's barely in it.
A thug.
5 minutes tops, but even in those 5 minutes you can see it, the guy has this quiet, coiled intensity. Like he's dangerous but trying really hard not to show it.
Casting directors noticed. Not enough to make him a star, but enough to keep calling him back. For the next 10 years he's the definition of working actor. Gangsters, corrupt cops, loyal best friends, the occasional psycho. Never the lead.
Always the guy who makes the lead look better. He's in Nameless Gangster opposite Choi Min-sik, the guy from Oldboy. He's in The Admiral, Roaring Currents, which was the biggest Korean movie ever at the time.
He's good, really good.
But he's still that guy from that scene. And here's something interesting. In 2011 he legally changes his stage name to Cho Jin-woong.
Why?
Because it's his father's name. He said it was a promise to himself, to live better, to be someone his dad could be proud of. That's not PR fluff. That's the kind of quiet, stubborn, personal vow most people never make public. And for the next 5 years he keeps grinding under that name, slowly climbing. Then 2016 happens. Signal. If you've never seen Signal, just know it's not a normal drama. It's a time-travel crime thriller about a cold case detective in the present talking to a detective in 1989 through a cursed walkie-talkie. Cho plays Lee Jae-hoon, the 1989 detective, young, idealistic, furious at a corrupt system that keeps letting killers walk. His performance is devastating. He's vulnerable, he's angry, he's heartbreaking. The whole country loses it. Ratings climb, awards sweep in, and suddenly Cho Jin-woong isn't that solid actor anymore. He's a legend. After Signal he's in The Handmaiden, Believer, The Spy Gone North, big films, big roles, big praise. He plays villains, he plays fathers, he plays spies.
Doesn't matter.
The public always sees Lee Jae-hoon underneath.
The righteous one.
The one who would never let injustice stand. In 2021 he even gets chosen as a national envoy to bring back the remains of General Hong Byum-do, an independence fighter, from Kazakhstan. He's on national news carrying the coffin, head bowed.
People are crying in the streets. He's not just an actor anymore. He's a symbol. And then, December 5, 2025.
Dispatch publishes a report saying Cho Won-jun, his real name, the one he used before the stage name change, had a serious juvenile record in the 1990s.
Car theft, robbery.
And, most damaging of all, incidents that could be interpreted as involving sexual assault. He spent time in juvenile detention.
His agency says the sexual assault part is false.
They admit there were wrongdoings as a minor, but insist everything was resolved under juvenile law and the records were sealed for a reason. Cho releases a short handwritten letter the next day: apology, regret, immediate retirement.
That's it. No fight. No explanation. Gone. Within days reruns disappear. Documentaries get edited.
And the biggest bomb, The Second Signal, the sequel everyone had been begging for since 2016, is fully filmed, and then quietly dropped from TVN's 2026 lineup on February 12.
No premiere date. No teaser. No mention. Just a hole where a multi-billion-won show used to be.
So here's the part that keeps people up at night. He spent his whole life building the image of a man who stands for justice. And when his past finally caught up, the industry and the public did to him exactly what his characters spent 20 years fighting against: zero mercy, no second chance, no forgiveness. Was it deserved?
I don't know. The Juvenile
Act exists for a reason. Kids do stupid, awful things sometimes, and society decided long ago that those mistakes shouldn't follow you forever.
He served his time. He changed his name as a vow to be better. He spent 30 years with a mostly clean record. But if even part of it involved sexual misconduct, even decades ago, does that change the math?
Does the public get to say, once a predator, always a predator? Okay, this isn't one of those scandals that blows up for a week and then everyone moves on. The internet is still on fire over Cho Jin-woong in February 2026.
Like, people are genuinely heated, and both sides are going at it like it's personal.
On one side you've got the group that's straight up livid. They're posting side-by-side pics non-stop, Cho in his Signal detective coat looking like the ultimate good guy, then the Dispatch headline right next to it. The comments are brutal. This is who you've been standing?
Hypocrite much?
How do you play justice for 20 years and have that in your past? They're especially mad about the sexual assault whispers, even if the agency denies it, even if it was 30 years ago. To them, once that word is even in the conversation, the whole reformed story falls apart. They're saying victims carry trauma forever, so why should he get to keep his legacy? Its actions have consequences on repeat, and they're not backing down. Then you've got the other side, and bro, they're just as loud. They're arguing this is exactly why juvenile records are sealed in the first place. The law literally says, you screw up as a teenager, you serve your time, society gives you a clean slate so you can actually become a better person. They're like, he did his punishment back then.
He stayed clean for 3 decades. Changed his name as a literal vow to do better. What more do you want? They're sharing clips of legal experts, guys like Professor Han In-sup from Seoul National University, who are saying publicly that dragging up sealed records after all this time destroys the whole point of rehabilitation. They're posting stuff like, if we punish people forever for being 17 and dumb, who's left? And forgiveness isn't real in Korea anymore.
The comments sections are actual battlefields. Threads with 30,000 plus replies, people writing full essays, others just dropping memes. One side has Cho's detective face with justice for who?
Plastered over it. The other has him walking away with forgiveness not found in Korea 2026. People are calling each other names, blocking each other, making outs just to keep arguing.
Even politicians have jumped in with vague comments, and talk shows are still bringing it up. It's wild because both sides feel 100% right in their own heads. One side is protecting victims and public trust. The other side is protecting the idea that people can actually change. And neither side is willing to budge, so the whole thing just keeps burning. That's why this isn't over. The retirement happened in one weekend, but the argument about whether it was right is still going strong months later. And as long as people keep fighting, Cho Jin-woong's name isn't going anywhere. Hey, let's zoom in on the part that's actually keeping this story alive in 2026. What the hell is going to happen to The Second Signal? For anyone who doesn't know, Signal, 2016, isn't just a popular drama. It's borderline sacred in Korea. It's one of those rare shows that critics, casual viewers, and hardcore fans all agree is a masterpiece. The premise, a modern detective talking to a detective in 1989 through a cursed walkie-talkie, was genius. The writing was airtight, the emotions were brutal, and the 3 leads, Kim Hae-soo, Lee Jae-hoon, and Cho Jin-woong, had chemistry that felt like lightning in a bottle. Cho's character, Lee Jae-hoon, wasn't just the past detective, he was the emotional core. The idealistic young cop who gets crushed by corruption and literally dies trying to do the right thing. When people rewatch Signal, they don't say that show with Kim Hae-soo, they say the show where Cho Jin-woong broke my heart. So when TVN finally greenlit the sequel, fans lost their minds. Filming wrapped years ago. Scripts by Kim Eun-hee, the original writer, were finished. Kim Hae-soo and Lee Jae-hoon were back. And Cho Jin-woong was reprising Lee Jae-han in what was supposed to be the ultimate payoff, bringing that character's ghost full circle. The budget was reportedly in the 10 billion won range, $7.5 million USD. It was supposed to be the biggest cable drama event of 2026. Then December 2025 happened. By February 13, 2026, TVN's Vision 2026 lineup trailer dropped, and the second signal was nowhere. No slot, no teaser, no placeholder, just silence. Industry outlets quickly confirmed, the show has been indefinitely postponed. Not cancelled outright, yet, but effectively shelved. So what now? Option 1. Heavy editing/digital removal. They could try to CGI Cho out or reshoot his scenes with a new actor, C-drama's favorite solution. Problem: it's not feasible. Lee Jae-han isn't a side character, he's central to the mystery, the emotional beats, and the time travel mechanics. Replacing him would require rewriting huge chunks of the story, reshooting dozens of scenes, with 2 A-listers already locked in, and hoping fans accept a new face in a role that's been tied to Cho for a decade. The cost would be astronomical, probably close to filming a whole new show. And emotionally? For a lot of people, Cho IS Signal. Swapping him out would feel like recasting Tony Stark in an Avengers sequel. It's not impossible, but it would alienate a huge chunk of the core fanbase. Option 2. Release as is. With some fans and commentators are pushing for this. Drop the show on a streaming platform with a content warning or preface saying, this drama was produced prior to recent events. But the backlash would be immediate and vicious. The other side would say, you're platforming a man accused of sexual misconduct for profit. Sponsors would flee. TVN would risk massive PR damage. And honestly, Lee Jae-hoon and Kim Hae-soo have stayed completely silent, 0 posts, 0 interviews. Option 3. Scrap it entirely. This is where most insiders think it's heading. The sunk cost is huge, but the reputational cost of releasing it might be bigger. TVN has already absorbed the hit of omitting it from the lineup. They could write off the investment, take the financial loss, and move on. It's brutal, but it's clean. What other dramas did in similar situations? When Kim Seon-ho got cancelled in 2021, allegations of forcing an abortion, his ongoing drama Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha was already airing. They finished the run but pulled his future projects. He eventually came back after a long apology tour and public disappearance. But none of those cases involved a fully completed, high-profile sequel where the actor is literally the emotional heart of the story. Signal 2 isn't just a drama with Cho in it. For millions of people, Cho Jin-woong is Signal. Replacing him would be like recasting Jack Bauer in a 24 reboot mid-season. The audience would feel it. So right now the show is stuck in limbo. No premiere date. No official cancellation announcement, probably to avoid triggering full contract penalties. Just waiting. And every week that passes, the odds of it ever seeing daylight get smaller. It's honestly tragic on every level. A masterpiece sequel that fans waited a decade for, killed not by bad writing or low ratings, but by a 30-year-old secret that only surfaced after the cameras stopped rolling. What do you think they should do? Release it anyway? Eat the cost and scrap it? Try to recast and reshoot? I'm genuinely curious where you land on this one. So yeah, that's the story. A guy from Busan who clawed his way up through sheer stubbornness and talent, became the living symbol of justice, then watched the entire system he portrayed turn on him without hesitation. If you made it this far and you're still thinking about it, drop a comment. Tell me what side you're on. Tell me if you think he deserved a second chance or if the past should always win. Because right now, in 2026, the walkie-talkie from Signal is silent. See you next time.